But this is a road which runs from up there. Bit of a rescue mission going on. These kids are helping each other to cross what has literally become a river when in fact it's supposed to be a road. It's been raining heavily, and now rainwater mixed with best sewer. It's just flowing and the stench is unmistakable. I am starting this walk in the car park of Levys village in the heart of Borrowdale, one of Harare's most affluent suburbs. Even as I'm out here, before I step into the village proper, there's already a certain feeling. Calm, orderly, intentional. The cars in this parking lot tell a quiet story. Late model SUVs, German sedans, clean lines, no chaos, no rush, just movement with space around it. And that's something you notice immediately here. Space. Space between cars, space between buildings, space between people. Borrowdale feels different, designed, maintained. Yet, when it was first built, it was an illegal development. Levys village isn't just a shopping center. It's styled like a Mediterranean courtyard. It is the identical twin sister of Bicester village in Oxfordshire, England. In fact, it is as if those who built Bicester village simply lifted the plan from here. It almost feels like you have stepped out of Harare for a moment. There is something curated about it. The pavements are clean, the landscaping is trimmed, the palm trees stand in perfect symmetry. The signage feels intentional, neat fonts, polished storefronts. You don't hear vendors calling out here. You don't hear combis revving engines. You hear conversations over coffee. Maybe a distant hum of the generator behind the walls. It's quiet but not empty. People here move differently. Slow strides, sunglasses, gym wear, business casual. There is a rhythm of comfort, a comfort that has sound. It's subtle. It says wealth. This is consumer Zimbabwe, curated Zimbabwe, aspirational Zimbabwe. It's a version of the country that feels insulated from the turbulence we often associate with. You could spend an afternoon here and completely forget that you are in the Zimbabwe that has almost become the byline of failure. There is something fascinating about how worlds can exist so close together but feel so far apart. Borrowdale is about 15 to 20 minutes from the city center, but emotionally, it can feel like a different country. There is no urgency in the air, no visible struggle, just a routine affluence. And yet, this is still Zimbabwe. Same sun overhead, same national flag, same economy, but lived differently. Then the village walk, a newer extension of Levys village. The design becomes even more modern here. Cleaner lines, bigger glass panels, a more global aesthetic. If you didn't know where you were, you might guess Cape Town, maybe parts of Nairobi, somewhere polished. And that's the contrast that makes places like this so compelling. Borrowdale represents access. Access to capital, to global goods, to private healthcare, to international schools. It's a bubble, but it is also a benchmark, a glimpse into what parts of Zimbabwe can look like when resources concentrate. And that concentration is what defines extremes. Now I'm approaching Cafe Nush in the village walk. There is something universal about coffee culture. Whether you are in London, Cape Town, or here in Borrowdale, a flat white signals pause. It signals leisure. And as I sit with this cup in hand, I can't help but to think about how many realities exist within the same borders. Just a 6 minutes walk, one version of Zimbabwe. And this is just the beginning, because in the second part of this video, we are going somewhere very different. But for now, this is a Borrowdale. This is Levys village, and this too is Zimbabwe. In the other video, I talk about the Harare that I had never known, the side of Harare that I never thought existed. But this is also part of Zimbabwe. The greater Harare, I must say, because I'm out here in Chitungwiza. And the way things are just run down almost tells a story of where Zimbabwe is. But people are happy all the same. This is a road. All that is left is a suggestion that there used to be a tarred road there. Everything has been washed away. And the beauty of Zimbabwe is you are just walking from where you're walking and you're taking a shortcut right through somebody else's yard and nobody really cares. There you go, we're in somebody's house. A little bit of urban agriculture. This too is supposed to be a road. It's not safe, is it? But this is a road which runs from up there. Bit of a rescue mission going on. These kids are helping each other to cross what has literally become a river when in fact it's supposed to be a road. It's been raining heavily and now rainwater mixed with best sewer, it's just flowing. And the stench is unmistakable. But yeah, that's the other side of Zimbabwe. Far, far away from the lovely, shiny shopping malls of Harare North. But what sets Zimbabweans apart is that this never takes away their joy. People are always happy. But on the whole, something has to happen, because this cannot be. If there were to be a cholera outbreak again, yeah.